Good evening, welcome. Glad you could join me. It's been a couple weeks since I've done a video on mud fossils, and the reason for that is a lot of my videos are getting buried and they're not getting watched. I put a lot of time and research and energy into doing these videos and go out and putting boots on the ground, and then they get buried and don't even get any views. I got one here that's only got 420 views, one's only got 624, 731 on this one, and they're incredible finds. And so I'm trying to separate them, spread them out so that they don't get buried and they're not getting viewed. Well, the other things going on is there's some new rules going on with COPPA, Child Online Protection Policy Act, or whatever it is, and with YouTube. And the Federal Trade Commission is now involved. YouTube got fined $150 million, and so they're cracking down and doing a bunch of stuff. I don't realize what all is going to happen yet. A lot of it has to do with advertising and things with that also. YouTube can actually terminate a channel anytime they want when they decide whether it's monetarily good for them or not, and due to advertising, whether you're making any money for them, they can actually terminate your channel without any cause. I've already read the laws. So anyway, that's what's going on here, and that's why I'm explaining this before I get started. So a lot of what's going to happen with a lot of YouTube videos is they're not going to be giving you the bell up here or alert you when a video is posted. So people are going to have to start going on, just going and looking on their own. When you go to my channel, you'll notice you only got so many videos to look from. If you click on videos, it'll bring up all my videos. I've got like 50-some videos here that some of them aren't even getting viewed hardly. So just click on videos and you'll see, click on my avatar, click on videos, and it will pull up the rest of the videos. Okay, because I've got a whole bunch of videos here and there's more coming. So I'm going to finish up this series on Cape Perpetua, and that's where I'm going right now. I'll finish up the video I have on it. And this is a tendon enthesis. The muscle's gone, deteriorated. What's left is the fibrous straps and stuff like that with tissue collapsed down around it, and also abrupt transition. So that's what you're going to be seeing a lot of. So I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for joining me.
More of that tendon, abrupt transition with more holes in it all along here. It gets big and it gets small, and that just makes it super fibrous, super tough. Same thing in our bodies. Look at that. This would be the outside of the abrupt transition. This is what's inside the middle of it. Look how tough that stuff, how fibrous, chunky, bandy, real bandy. You got totally different material here. There you got more of that membranous stuff that's in between two materials. See this? And you got the black again, and you got the gray, and you got this small banding here, and this is that real tough transition stuff right here. This stuff here is the stuff that, look how big the blocking is on that compared to the smaller blocking up there and that stuff up there. And all this goes right across the top of that. And of course all this, different materials again, same thing going on, different materials. You got your fleshier stuff that collapse down alongside the membranes, I believe, and then you got your banding, your real tough stuff, you know, that separates the fibrous bands. Okay, it's starting to get dark. I'm gonna have to head for home. That good old daylight savings time sure cut a lot of time off me being able to do things like this. A lot of this stuff I won't be able to do till next summer now. See all that stuff, that gristle runs right into that flesh. Probably ties into this transition here somewhere. That one runs up over that. This in here, in the center right here, you see this, how this band comes across. Goes like that. Turns and goes that way, and see how this is real fleshy right here in the center? See if I can get back. That would have been a band, a fibrous band of muscle going this way, and it would have probably got bigger as it went to the top, narrow as it came down here to the bottom, and it hooks to the bone. Okay, and that would have been separated by this membrane. Okay, just like on an animal, you've got an animal, it's got a membrane that separates each tendon piece or each muscle or each tendon as it transitions into the muscle. In my opinion, more of it here. You know, this would have probably been a muscle in between these two, a fiber. And this would have been a fiber in between these two, that one there and that one there. This could have been a fiber. Same thing here. Inside of this one right here could have been a fiber. And that's, you know, or whatever. And that's a transition beside it. I don't know. But that's just kind of what I'm seeing here, what I'm thinking. See how it comes down here? Just like on a, I mean, if you got an animal open and you cut down around that, you'll find pieces like this where they come together like this in a tendon. The muscle in here and the fibers on the outside edges, or vice versa. I start getting mixed up myself. It's just so overwhelming over the top. Comes up into here, got your tissue, got another band comes up into there, ties into there, runs that way, runs that way. Here's the wall of it. Here's more tissue right here. As we come along, comes into the wall, runs that direction. Here's this membrane wall that runs down into the flesh. Sand is flesh, SiO2, silicon dioxide. And there is the gristle, the piece of gristle that I would call it, the band that runs around the edge of a muscle, possibly. Or this transition that runs along the edge of the transition. So, okay. And more of it here. Runs up into there. Again, the different materials. The softer material and the harder material that got left behind. Same thing up in there. This would have been a small band, a fibrous band of muscle probably coming up out of here. You can see the softer tissue, the yellowish tannish tissue and the black. Same things over here. We got the grays and the black. And then we're running more into tissues with the red in it that didn't get decomposed all the way like some of the other stuff. It's still got a bloody matter in it. Not as much as we came from over there, but it still got some. You got tan, but then you still got red again. And here's the side of the strapping. And in here, look, it's another square in here. See that? That one runs this way, so this could have been, you know, whatever it was laying in here. The muscle. Look at this here, how you got this red blob of fleshy material sitting on top of the hard black. See this? Two different totally materials. That's laying up against that, or settled down on top of that when it decomposed. Okay, we got a lot more. I'm a long ways away from where I was. I was way over there. This whole thing's a transition. This whole thing would have been a muscle, in my opinion. You got it in here again. The different flesh. I'm sorry, I had to run over here. It's getting dark. Look at how this is coming out of there. The flesh on material on top of it. I'm sure you can see that. It's getting dark. Whew. Here again, look at this. Look at this one. This is, I believe, a membrane. This is probably a membranous type of material here is what I'm thinking, possibly. Like almost like a gristle, if you will, but I don't know. This one's more of a tan color. It doesn't have the lines in it like the other ones did. And then you got, look at this one here. It comes right here, starts here, and wraps. And it wraps around this. See this? Two different materials again. You got this stuff, the blacks and this stuff, real fine, and then the super coarse stuff right here. And that wraps right around the corner. You got the blacks and the reds on the outside edge of it that's stuck to the side of it. And then you get down here into that biological pattern again. That's a different material than that. And so is that from that. See it? Huh, that's kind of cool. Okay, I gotta get hoofing it here. Got a lot of red right there on top of that one. Wow. Look at this over here. Holy cow. Alright, now we got some. Look at this. Two different totally different, that's all, folks. Two totally different materials. Follow the yellow brick road. Look at this. It runs to there and turns that direction. And runs right up over the end of this. Right down there and below, down into the sand. And you got all that over in there too. I'm not going to get to it today. But then look at that one there. Yeah. And this one coming back, I just noticed this band that runs off it and runs right up over the top. Now, I know it's just a layered intrusion. I would tend to differ. That thing right there is separating something from something else for a reason. Alright, thank you for joining me, and I'm headed out of here. It's starting to get really dark. Oh, look at this. It's just this stuff comes down and turns. You know, it's all eroded and gone, whatever it connected to in here. Alright, what happened there? Do a V. A totally different material than the stuff on the sides. I gotta get out of here before I get trapped or something. I was trying to, this is a huge piece here. I was trying to wonder what this whole big thing is. I already know it. It's an abrupt transition. This whole thing is an abrupt transition. Look at this. I didn't look at this one. Holy cow, look at the size of this puppy. Look at that up on top of there. How it goes from the finer stuff up to the real coarser stuff. Right there. Look at this band. Look at this one. Holy cow. And you got that seam right, that one right there too. Oh, I got a hole in my boot. Darn. Keep forgetting about that hole in my boot. Look how coarse and jagged that stuff is right up there. That's what's left. That would have been going that way, and then the muscle would have been up above connected. That's what this is. This whole thing is part of a abrupt transition. See that? That's a piece of the fibrous band that runs in it. That piece right here. All right, getting dark. Like I said, I'm out of here again for the 5th time. Okay, I wanted to show you that over there and show you that pattern. That I had similar down there to down to Lighthouse at Cape Arago. See that? Okay, I'm standing on top of one of these veins or whatever right now, a massive one. I mean, I'm gonna get the GoPro out. This thing's killer. Runs right up underneath there. Talking as I'm walking. That's part of an abrupt transition too. Look how big this piece is. This whole thing probably was at one time. Now it's filled in with SiO2, which is sand, which is skin. Either ground down or whatever, however it happened. So you got layering in there. See how chunky and blocky and jagged that gets on top? And the whole thing's flat. You know, they're flat. Tides come in, I gotta get going. Yeah, big old abrupt that's the real fibrous hard stuff right there. When they almost get like these little flat sides with the plates there, you know, I call them plates, I don't know why. But you can see, I'll get up on here. So this flattens out up in here. This is just like the stuff I had at Seal Rock. If you go back and look at my Seal Rock abrupt transition videos, you'll see this same type of plating like this. These flat plates. I call them plates. I don't know why. I got some weird names for things. But I'm walking along the top of this right now. And I'm probably 15 feet off the ground from down there. Look at this thing. There's all that red part with all the extra banding over in it. Walk across this without falling off. Told my wife where I was going, so if I don't come home tonight, she knows where to go looking. Yeah, wow. I'm gonna get back over here and get some of that bloody stuff on this camera. Huh, lava. I know it's wood, just joking. I gotta be a little cynical, or it's just not fun. Remember, we got the tissues in here, we got the banding, the fibrous material here. You know, there would have been tissue, muscle fiber probably coming up towards me right inside that little piece right there, that little triangle that's surrounded by this membrane. You know, over in here you get into the really, you can definitely tell the tissues from the membrane material. Look at this, like night and day. I guess you could be a little more white. I'm having a good time here too, you know. I have to try to keep my sanity because this stuff can get too over the top and actually get quite scary sometimes when you realize what's going on this planet or what's happened. I mean, look at the fleshy material, absolute flesh. This is for sure a fleshy tissue that's melted, and you got your stronger fibrous material left behind. Your banding, you know, of the membranous material, that sheathing around the muscle and the tissues like that. And that's what I believe you're seeing by all this banding, is that separation of the tissues. And you look at it up in here. I mean, are you kidding me? Runs through here, into that, all that. And this would have been the really tough part down in the tendon part of the muscle. So I believe that's what you're probably seeing here. Is this fleshy part was muscle at one time that ran beside the tendon or whatever. I mean, this just cannot be denied. Somebody didn't come down here with a spray paint this red, I don't think. And you got these pot marks, the holes in it. Like I said, there would have been muscle. There's tissue right in there between the two membranes. Okay, a lot of things I run into out here trying to decipher what's what. I'll run into some materials that are harder than others. Some of the fleshier material melted down over top of something and it's poking up through it. And then I'm trying to figure out, well, what could that be? Not only that, but this stuff is so absolutely big and over the top. Some of this stuff in here, these rocks, rocks, this stuff could actually be molecules themselves. This creature is so big, you could literally walk up here like I'm doing right now. And I do believe that's what a lot of this stuff is, the stuff that's actually in the blood, or you could actually pick up a molecule where you would never even see one in our body. That's how big this creature is. These could actually, I don't know, these could actually be molecules. We just don't know. That's how big we're dealing with here. And you got more of that banding in there. All right, some of the things I run into out here are like this, where I'm possibly thinking tendon balls could have been setting or something in a lot of these pockets. See these pockets? I find these out here. So I don't know if maybe a tendon ball could have been setting in here or something. I could be totally off base on that, so I just don't know. But I do find that stuff. Okay, I know I brought a lot for you to think about today. And it's not an easy pill to swallow. But it is the truth. The geology, and I don't believe these men knew what they were doing. They just thought that they were right because it looked the way it did. And it's not true. Now we're all down this rabbit hole that nobody can seem to come out of. And we can't even find Alice anymore. So it's a rainy day here. I'm gonna head for home. As you can see, the camera's getting wet.